The Arctic is a land of extremes, where the cold is not merely an element, but a dominant force. Here, the landscape is shaped by ice, wind, and the darkness that stretches for months. Nothing is gentle in this place. The horizon seems motionless, yet beneath that frozen appearance, life endures. Every creature that inhabits this biome faces a constant test of survival. Scarcity dictates the rhythm of existence. Even the smallest mistake means disappearance. Storms tear through the silence, seas shatter into blades of ice, and the dry air burns the skin. Time feels suspended, and danger comes from every direction. From the cold, from hunger, from predators. The landscape is magnificent, yet merciless. Every step, every breath is a direct confrontation with nature itself. In the Arctic, beauty and brutality coexist, and the balance between them defines survival. The Arctic stretches across a vast, borderless expanse, a white world where the horizon blends with the sky. Temperatures plunge far below any human limit. Here the wind doesn't blow, it cuts. Fields of ice move slowly, pressing and cracking with a dry sound that echoes for kilometers. Each fragment of ice tells an ancient story, shaped by centuries of cold. The frozen sea opens into deep crevices, revealing dark, dense waters. The ground remains dormant, yet beneath it, roots and microorganisms sustain the fragile balance of the biome. Between the ice sheets and the open sea, the cycle of life finds its stage, a territory in constant transformation, where giants rise from the frozen waters. And it is here, on the cold shores of Hudson Bay, that the first inhabitant of this realm appears. The walrus. The ice drifts in slow-moving sheets that collide gently. Upon them, massive bodies rest. The walruses form dense colonies where every individual fights for space and warmth. The air vibrates with the sound of their calls, a deep chorus that echoes between the frozen cliffs. These giants, weighing nearly 1 metric ton, are built to endure. Beneath their thick skin lies a heavy layer of fat that shields them from deadly cold. Their long canines or tusks serve more than defense. They are tools of power and survival. With them, walruses dig into the ice, dominate rivals, and haul themselves from the frigid waters. Every movement is deliberate. Every gesture, heavy and slow, carries the strength of a body perfectly adapted to extremes. They dive in search of mollusks and crustaceans that lie buried in the muddy seabed. Beneath the surface, silence reigns. Visibility drops to only a few meters, and the cold paralyzes any unprepared organism. Yet the walruses move with precision. Their sensitive whiskers detect the slightest motion in the sediment. When they find food, they suck it up with astonishing force, leaving craters in the frozen sand. But abundance is fleeting. As the ice melts and tides rise, the distance between resting areas and feeding zones grows. Exhausted females risk long crossings to gather enough food for themselves and their calves. Not all make it back. Fatigue and cold demand a heavy price. In rare moments of calm, the group settles on blocks of ice. Their warm bodies create small pools of water around them. Within minutes, the wind freezes these marks again, erasing all traces of their presence. It is a cycle of endurance and oblivion. Predators watch from afar. A single wrong move can attract unwanted attention. That is why walruses remain alert, even in rest. Instinct never sleeps in the Arctic. To the north, in the Svalbard Islands, the scene changes. The ice platforms stretch for kilometers, and across them walks the true sovereign of this land. The polar bear. Across the vast frozen expanses of the Svalbard Islands, the polar bear moves in absolute silence. Each step sinks into the compact snow. Its body is a machine of survival. Dense muscles, a thick layer of fat, and translucent fur that reflects sunlight, rendering it nearly invisible against the ice. It hunts on the edge between hunger and time. Its sense of smell detects prey from kilometers away. The cold breeze carries the scent of seals, breathing through cracks in the ice. The bear moves slowly, conserving energy, watching, calculating. In the Arctic, every hunting attempt is a wager between life and death. Failure costs heat, strength, and eventually, survival itself. When the ice breaks, it swims for kilometers through waters that would kill a human within minutes. Its breathing is controlled. Its body remains rigid. Every movement is guided by necessity. The polar bear does not rule the Arctic. It endures it day after day. During summer, the ice melts earlier. Hunting becomes scarce. The bear turns to whale carcasses, bird eggs, even coastal vegetation. But nothing replaces the energy of marine fat. When food runs out, the body begins to consume itself. Females prepare dens deep within the glaciers. There they give birth in total darkness, isolated for weeks. When they emerge, they carry fragile cubs, blind, helpless, and utterly dependent. Each mother bears not only a new generation, but the fragile continuity of a species living on the edge of existence. Even the supreme predator of the Arctic is captive to the tides and to the changing climate. As the ice retreats, its territory shrinks, and with it the reach of life itself. To the south, along the shores of the Ilulissat Fjord, the silence of the hunt gives way to sounds of breath and motion. Between blocks of ice, agile bodies surface and vanish in the blink of an eye. This is the realm of the seals, who turn ice into shelter, refuge, and sometimes a trap. Between the ice walls of the Ilulissat Fjord, small openings become vital gateways, the breathing holes of seals, their only points of contact between air and ocean. They surface at precise intervals, breaking through the surface with a brief exhale. The sound is barely audible, yet it is the sound of survival. The seal's body is an extreme example of efficiency, aerodynamic, flexible, wrapped in a thick layer of fat that preserves heat and provides buoyancy. Its eyes, adapted to dim light, see into the blue depths where sunlight fades away. There, it hunts fish and crustaceans, moving with a speed that contrasts sharply with its apparent gentleness on land. but danger surrounds it from every direction. Above the ice, predators patrol in silence. Beneath the water, orcas and Greenland sharks encircle the colonies. That is why the seal has perfected a precise tactic, alternating between total stillness and sudden bursts of rapid motion to confuse its enemies. During summer, the ice platforms melt and the territory shifts. Females seek safe places to give birth, digging shelters beneath the ice. The muffled sound of the tides is the first noise the newborns hear. They grow quickly, nourished by milk rich in fat that prepares them for the cold and for diving. When the wind rises and the ice begins to break apart, seals migrate in groups, traveling long distances. The currents carry them to the Bering Sea, where the ocean opens wide and abundance awaits. But with abundance come new challenges: rougher waters, more predators, and the constant watch of humankind. The life of a seal is a cycle between breath and immersion, a delicate balance between two worlds, that of air and that of water. Its existence depends entirely on the precision with which it manages every second between them. Across the vast tundra of the Yukon, a collective movement breaks the silence. Thousands of reindeer, known as caribou, advance in steady march. The landscape is open, without shelter, and the wind cuts like a blade. Yet they continue. They are born migrants, capable of traveling more than 1,000 kilometers in search of food. No other land mammal of the Arctic covers such great distances. The frozen ground reveals small patches of vegetation. Lichens and mosses become vital nourishment. The reindeer detect them beneath the snow, using their sense of smell and wide hooves adapted for digging. Each female protects the space around her calf, keeping the herd united and alert. The strength of the group is the key to survival. During summer, the sun never fully sets. The constant light confuses their biological rhythm but provides abundant food. Calves grow quickly, building fat reserves to face the coming winter. Yet danger never disappears. Mosquitoes, wolves, and even climate change alter their routes and shrink their territory. The sound of migration is unique. Hooves striking the ice, deep breaths, wind blending with low vocalizations. Each step echoes as part of a single living organism in motion. There is an invisible order, a collective instinct that guides the herd even when direction seems uncertain. In winter, the caribou seek refuge among hills and valleys where the snow lies thinner. Their bodies are resilient, covered with double-layered fur that traps heat and allows them to float while crossing rivers. The heart beats slowly to conserve energy. And their metabolism adjusts to the extreme cold. Reindeer are essential to the ecological balance. They spread nutrients, carve trails, and serve as a crucial food source for larger predators. Without them, the tundra's cycle would break. With each generation, the herd faces a more unstable land. The ice arrives later, the vegetation shifts, and instinct must adapt. The Arctic changes, but the march continues. Along the rocky cliffs of the Svalbard archipelago, the air is sliced by short, swift wings. Hundreds of puffins circle above the ocean, diving with pinpoint precision. Their small, compact bodies and brightly colored aerodynamic beaks are the result of millions of years of adaptation to the constant wind and violent currents of the North Atlantic. These birds spend months away from the coast, navigating waves up to 10 meters high, a realm where few creatures can survive. They used the Earth's magnetic field for orientation, returning unfailingly to the same cliffs to breed. Their loyalty to their nesting grounds is almost absolute. Each flock marks the beginning of a new cycle of survival. In burrows dug between the rocks, pairs take turns hunting. One dives while the other keeps watch. Their prey is small, herring and capelin caught at depths of up to 50 meters. The flight is brief, but the dive is intense. Each return brings food for the chicken energy for another day on the edge. During summer, the cliff becomes a theatre of noise. Thousands of calls blend with the crashing of the sea against the rocks. The apparent chaos hides a precise order. Each bird recognizes its partner's call among hundreds. This synchronized breeding is essential, allowing all to depart before the storms return. With autumn's arrival, the winds strengthen and temperatures drop abruptly. The puffins abandon their nests, leaving behind only traces of feathers. The cliffs fall silent, and the sea reclaims its domain. The birds head out to the open ocean, where they will face months of darkness and cold. Survival depends entirely on timing. A delayed departure can mean death by storm or starvation. That is why every movement is guided by instinct. The precision of these routes is vital to ecological balance. Puffins transport nutrients between the ocean and the land, sustaining entire food chains. Life here is a fragile line between risk and persistence. The cliff may be shelter or trap, the ocean, source of life or destruction. But for the puffin, there is no alternative, only to fly, to dive, and to return. And when the icy wind blows from the cliffs inland, it meets another survivor. Across the frozen plains of Banks Island, a giant covered in thick fur faces the cold with sheer endurance. The musk ox. The temperature drops below 40 degrees Celsius negative, and the horizon stretches into an infinite expanse of ice and silence. At the center of this vastness moves the musk ox, a survivor from another age. Covered in long, dense fur, it seems like a relic of the Pleistocene. Beneath its coarse outer coat lies a thick underlayer called kiviot, one of the warmest natural fibers on the planet. These massive herbivores travel in compact herds, maintaining cohesion as defense against both the cold and predators. Every step is deliberate. Beneath the hardened snow, they uncover hidden lichens and roots, torn free by their powerful hooves. Food is scarce, but enough to sustain a low-energy metabolism finely tuned to constant deprivation. When threatened, they form a defensive circle, adults facing outward, horns ready, while the calves remain protected at the center. This simple strategy has ensured their survival for thousands of years. In the Arctic, isolation is not weakness, it is protection. During summer, as the ice retreats, the tundra bursts into life. Mosses and tiny flowers cover the ground, attracting insects and migratory birds. The musk ox changes its rhythm, feeding intensely to build the reserves that will sustain it through the coming winter. Interactions between herds increase. Quick contests establish dominance without serious injury. With each season, the herd moves according to the rhythm of the ice. Where there is vegetation, there is life. Where the wind strips the land bare, only waiting remains. These animals are the bridge between the glacial past and the unstable present. Their presence signals that balance still endures, even amid rapid warming and habitat loss. Calves are born fragile but learn fast. Within hours, they can follow the herd. Each one is the product of generations that have survived absolute cold, storms, and solitude. In the Arctic, time itself is the true predator, and only the most adapted endure. And as the wind from Banks Island sweeps across the frozen plains, the Arctic landscape closes as it began, harsh, silent, and magnificent. The cycle of wildlife reaches its limit, ready to begin again. The Arctic is a system in fragile balance. Every species that survives here depends on ice, light, and time. At first glance, it seems unchanging, yet beneath the silence, everything is shifting. The melting of glaciers, the warming of the seas, and the loss of habitat are rewriting the fate of these creatures. The strength of the Arctic lies not in its rigidity, but in its ability to endure. To protect this ecosystem is to protect the very history of the Earth. If you felt the power of this journey, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next stories of nature in its purest form. See you next time.